Hey guys, how are we? Welcome back to the channel, Masculine Dating and Development. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Firstly guys, I just want to say if you enjoy more of the car videos, like non-structured kind of videos and whatnot, let us know down in the comments and whatnot, which videos you're kind of preferring. I enjoy doing them all anyway, so it doesn't really bother me whether it's a bit more structured with notes and so on and so forth, or it's a bit more just off the cuff, obviously, because I'm speaking from experience. So when you speak from experience, you can talk off the cuff, right? You don't need to read from a script, so to speak. Anyway, I'm sure you all know that anyway. But yeah, like it says in the title of this video, why monk mode is keeping you from the dating life you want. Now, what's monk mode, right? I'm sure you've seen it around, guys. Like a lot of you have, and I'm sure it's been discussed at length sometimes, but I want to add my experience to it and what I've seen as well. So I guess some of us probably have kind of gone into this phase. It's like monk mode is essentially like when you pull back from everything, and it's also when you get to a tipping point, like you feel like, right, instead of going direct to the source of the problem, and obviously this channel is about dating and masculinity and stuff like that, so obviously this is the source of the problem in that particular time of the man's life, is that he's not doing too well with the girls. He doesn't understand female nature, doesn't understand the game, so on and so forth. So what we've been told by society is that obviously working on yourself, building yourself up, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, working on your status, building status, whether it be social, online, fame, and then also money, right, is going to attract the particular type of women that we want, right, or these particular men want. Now, there's many issues with that. Now, obviously, those areas of things within your life are worthwhile. Obviously, you should be doing them concurrently anyway, working on those areas of your life. But as the old saying goes, I tend to my garden and the bees will come. Doesn't work like that. Unless you're like DiCaprio, or in the top 0.001% of man, pro athletes that the Elon Musk of the world, like people like that, well then that's a little bit different. That can obviously help in many, many ways, right? But here's the problem, and I have spoken about it before, and I'm going to say it again. Even if you do get into those particular areas of fame and fortune, right, and obviously attracting women does become a lot easier, you still got to know what you're doing, right? You don't just work and retract from everything, right? And then all of a sudden, I've made it, and then all the women are going to come knocking on your door, right? And even if they do, let's say for argument's sake, in some, crazy magical world, that, you do get to that level of, fame and fortune and whatnot, and they do come knocking on your door, as an example. Well, if you don't have the experience of dealing with hundreds and hundreds of women and being on hundreds and hundreds of dates and so on and so forth, bodies and whatnot, then you're not going to know what you're doing, right? And that will cost you big time. How many celebrities, how many pro athletes and whatnot around the world still don't know what they're doing, right, with women, and the troubles that they get themselves into, and the troubles that they allow themselves to get into, right? Because they become simps and beta males, right? Or maybe they have been that way their whole life. So my point being is that no matter what, you can't escape what needs to be done. And unfortunately, a lot of guys don't want to hear this, right? Is that what needs to be done is work. And the work in the area of actually going towards the source. If this is a particular area that is important to you, and it should be, because what are the three main pillars of life? Health, wealth, and relationships, okay? So the relationship part of your life should be important to you, because they've done numerous scientific studies around the world, right? And, they've looked at the longevity of people of life. And one of the highest correlating factors was that whether or not they had good relationships, not just, masculine and feminine relationships, but also relationships with friends and family, and having that connectivity, right? And it increases your lifespan. Okay, it's a known scientific fact, right? So it should be an important part of your life, right? So you should add focus to it, right? But yeah, getting back to the monk mode thing and why it is keeping you from the dating life that you want, is that how many guys have we known, right, throughout our years or throughout our times here while we've been here alive on this planet, that have done that for 2 years or 3 years, right? And then re-immersed back onto the dating scene as this new and improved guy, right? And then what happens? 9 times out of 10, the guy's still struggling. He's on dating apps, right? And that's their primarily source, is what they use. I'm not saying you can't do that. He's on the dating apps, you know what I mean? He looks a certain way. He's got the cash up. He's got the cars. He's got all the stuff, right? That society tells us that we need to have to attract the particular type of women that we need, right? Society tells us that. And then all of a sudden he realizes extremely quick that it's not having the effect that he initially thought it was. Because let's say he does attract a particular type of woman, that particular type of woman that he attracts is not the woman that he wants. Because it's mainly, girls that are chasing money and like gold diggers and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know about you guys, but they are not the women that I want to attract, or I never want to involve myself with. I want the down-to-earth, feminine, younger, Scandinavian women is more my type than anything else. It's another story for another time. But anyway, I digress. Getting back to the point at hand is that when they come to that realization, they're like, shit, this is what they told me to do. This is what they told me to do. And it didn't work. What he should have done, right, as using that guy as a particular example, because I've seen it many, many times in many, many areas around the world and on the internet, is that, yes, just work on those things, 100%, but do them for yourself. Don't do it in a bid of actually thinking that you doing this is going to attract more girls. To a small percent of girls, it might, right? But the reality is we can't escape the work. And the work is, if you want to get better with girls, you have to get better with girls. And what does that mean? Well, that means not pulling away from the direct source. We got to go straight to the source. Yes, work on your fitness. Yes, work on your money. Yes, work, on your looks. But it's always got to be in the middle. You can't go to one extreme or the other, because there's so many chads out there that are struggling. Look it up. Everyone thinks the looks maxing thing is the new age, you know what I mean? It's the new thing at the moment, like Klavikia and stuff like that. Bro, they don't know how to talk to women. They don't. And anyone can see that. They don't have game. They don't understand female nature. Like, it's just like, that's the reality. We can't escape the process that needs to be taken and the roads that need to be taken. And the roads that need to be taken are direct to the woman, interacting with women through multiple areas. In person mainly is the one that's going to give you the most growth, right? Because we know it's not about the girls, it's about us, and the person would become in the process, and the girls become a byproduct of that, right? But that is through meeting them face to face and approaching them. Yes, you got online. Yes, you got social media. Yes, you got social circle. Yes, you've got night game, if that's your thing. You need to work out what works for you. But don't allow yourself to think that monk mode is the answer and you're just going to retract. I'm just going to work on myself. I don't want to deal with anything else. I just want to be me. If you are wanting to have an abundant dating life, and if you're doing it for the reasons of thinking that is going to solve that. If you're doing it for you, purely for you, and you're not doing it for the reasons of this is also going to improve my dating life as well when I get to the end, then go do it. Go do it for those reasons, if you're doing it for yourself, okay? Purely for yourself and not because you're wanting an end byproduct at the end. If you're doing it for the reason of actually wanting to attract a higher quality woman into your life, then don't do it purely for that. Do it in concurrently with working on that skill in the area of your life, because it's a skill. It's like anything in life. It is a skill, right? And it's a learnable skill, and you can get better. Okay? So I'm not saying neglect everything else. Don't. But ask yourself, why am I doing it? Okay? If you're going monk mode and your primarily reason is because you want to get better with women, well then that's not the right reason. If it is for yourself, then yes, that is a good path to take. But I still don't agree with, pulling back from everything in your life, because at some point you're going to have to deal with it again at the same time, right? So yeah, all right, guys. I feel like I pretty much kind of covered everything within this video in relation to monk mode, and why it's not beneficial in relation to wanting to attract a bit higher quality of women or more women in your life. So I just don't want guys to go down that route and just think that, oh, I'll do this and I'll do that and then it's going to attract a woman. Remember, women are not logical. 2 + 2 does not equal 4 to them, okay? So that doesn't mean I get better looking, and when I say better looking, that's subjective, and it's like, how much can you change within yourself, right? There's only so much you can do, like how tall you are and stuff like that. Obviously, in relation to body fat, you can get a lot leaner. That's something you are in control of and you can control. But a lot of it is out of your control. The things that are in your control is that how many women I'm meeting every day, every week. How many women am I approaching? How many women am I escalating with? How many women am I taking out on dates? How many women am I pulling back to my place? Etc., etc., etc. I really want to do a whole video on that, just itself in itself on alone as well. So, but yeah, guys, I just want you to remember that. Okay, if you're in that place now, I want you to highly reconsider just changing a few things and not pulling away from that as well. Go direct to the source. All right, guys, hope everyone's well. I'm just sitting here, just looking out over the bay. It's an awesome spot. So that's why I wanted to make this video now. And just enjoy the rest of the day. So I hope everyone's going well, and hopefully you're starting to move towards your dating goals, getting some value out of these videos that I love making for everyone at the same time. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if there's anything else in particular that you would like to talk about, or would like me to talk about at all. Anything, any topic whatsoever. I'm more than happy to discuss it. So, all right, guys, hope you're well, and I will see you in the next video. All right, take care. Bye-bye.